Welcome back to the Kentucky Expo Center, day 3 of the National Farm Machine Show here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's Lovers Day, and lovers of farm machinery are flocking like mad to this place. Today we're going to finish up the south wing with C section. Then we'll head over to the west wing and not hope to see the president. Jokes aside, there's going to be lots of stuff to see over there as well for the next day and a half. So let's get right to it. So we have Ohio Valley Ag here, and they are representing Apache. Apache is a brand of self-propelled sprayers that we really don't hear a whole lot of. I haven't really heard a whole lot of outside of the show. They've been here every time I've come to the show, but outside the show, really don't hear too much of them. It'd be interesting to see them in Farm Sim in some way. I was walking underneath this one yesterday, the HS 1100.
I told him, I said, dude, I said, sometime if you get a non-ISO bed in here,
Then we have the AS 1250 model. And the third model here is going to be the AS 650. And then again, these days, if you're not doing something with drones, then you probably should be starting to do something with drones, because drones and ag are kind of the latest hotness. So here we've got a kind of a sprayer drone that can fly over the field and do spot spraying. Recently, I switched over from a closed ear headphone to an open ear earbud, but these are not any old earbud that fit in your ear, but these fit on the ear. If you're like me, you don't like things in your ear. They get uncomfortable fast and rarely fit well. They're either big and fit too tight, or they're small and fit too loose. The Light Me Cozy Fit open earbuds have been great to wear not only for everyday music, or if you're like me, audiobooks when you're out and about, but what about playing games, recording, or even streaming? I've been enjoying wearing these so much, I've packed away my old headphones. They are very lightweight, at just under 1/4 of an ounce, or 6.5 grams for those international folks, even with their light weight. Their over-the-ear design means that they are very secure and well bounced. The Cozy Fit open ear earbuds offer several hours of runtime on a single charge, and the charging case has enough battery to recharge the earbuds over 3 times before the case itself needs to be charged using a nice standard USB-C cable. When you're done wearing the earbuds, they snap magnetically into their charging cradles. What about the microphone for calls or voice chat? Well, it's not going to win any audio awards, that's for sure. And I'm definitely not going to be replacing my Elgato Wave 3 mic on my recording and streaming setup, but it'll do in a pinch. They also fit well on smaller ears, like those of my 11-year-old, and my oldest, well, she wants me to make sure I tell you that they won't interfere with earrings either. Whether home or traveling, the Light Me Cozy Fit earbuds are my go-to for PC and phone audio when I don't want the whole world to hear. If you're looking for something to replace your bulky and hot headphones and your PC supports Bluetooth, or you'd like to have something that's actually comfortable to wear when you're out and about that also does not impede your ability to hear what's going on around you, then I think you'll be happy with these earbuds. Save 10% off the list price of $39.99 using my link in the description below. And at checkout, be sure to put in the discount code of FarmerKlein. Grain distribution system here at the show. They're obviously going to be specializing with, well, grain distribution, if you will. They've got a pretty cool booth set up as a grain bin, and then several ways of moving grain around also set up here. This one's going to be using paddles to move your grain as opposed to an auger or a belt. And this is going to be a representation of the floor of the grain bin, and then the air channel underneath it, and then perforations to allow the air to come up through it. And then this is going to be a sweep to go around and sweep the perimeter of the bin, and then use the paddles to paddle to openings in the floor. So then ultimately come out outside the bin, and that's where you'd have a larger auger, like one that's set up over at the booth we're going to go to next, in order to load it into a trailer. Here we have a large grain tower, or drying tower, set up for grain drying. And across the aisle, we have what we would obviously have then used to load into either a bin, like the larger one here, or use a smaller one to load it from the grain bin into a trailer. Here we have a system to treat seed or prep seed for then applications out in the field. Bulk seed would go at the top. Go through the various apparati, have things added to the seed in measured quantities, and then come out here on this end. It's going to be loaded up into another tote or a seed hopper. Several of these variants here at the KSI booth. They show this one unloading directly into a conveyor belt auger, if you will. Now I'd be curious what the blower here is to be used for, unless maybe it's a dryer system to further dry what's coming out of the applicator. We have Tartar here, and Tartar is going to have lots of things for your cattle and animals. We've got cattle chutes, we've got water troughs, we've got feed troughs, gates, But we even have a nice dump trailer for a side-by-side or a four-wheeler or something small. And various implements and attachments. Claws, forks, scrapers. Lambton is here, and we're in a little bit of a section related to grain handling, grain storage, and grain transport. They're going to be working with and focusing on things to move your grain around and process your grain in various ways.
Any questions I can try and answer?
No.
On the banner here, we can see a conveyor.
How they have the wheels turn and sort of shake.
Yeah, feel free to play with it.
Yeah.
And then this would be a distribution to then change which bin your chute is going to unload to.
Seen it like sometime.
Hey, Ralph's not here. It's okay to come in.
And then this would be at the top of your tower. And you can see how things get moved up to the tower in these buckets. As I mentioned, we are in a bit of a section here where we've got lots of vendors that are dealing with grain. So Chief Ag Systems. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Chief bins. And to that end, we've got a nice little model bin set up here as their exhibit booth.
Well, we have to raise the grade like 10 feet. We can't drop our pipes in.
See what their door to their bins look like, and then also grain transport. So they're using thin paddles, it appears here, to move grain around. Various blowers and dryers. And again, this would be at the top of your grain tower. To bring grain up to the top. And then pitch it down into a distributor to then distribute to one of your various bins, whichever given bin you're filling at that particular time. Dixie Choppers here, all your mowing needs, just $10,000. We'll buy you a nice Blackhawk HP in this digital black and white camo. I'll call it black, white, gray camo. Bulletproof steel baffle, 60-inch cut. I want to see, have they tested this? Is it really bulletproof? If I try it and it isn't, do I get a refund? And then if you've got some extreme hills, you might be interested in their Talon RC mower. 55 degrees. Now this one's RC, it's not autonomous, but coming soon. Just like that other remote control mower, except this one's 40 grand. I don't know, can I get in there to see the price? Yeah, 40 grand that one is. That other RC mower was smaller. You could probably buy 6 of those for this. Just in case you do want to buy that 40 grand RC mower, well, here's several dealers in the greater Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, Illinois area. Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower, so it's like JCB for tractors. But is it still cut good at that speed? I don't know. I can never afford one. $15,500 will get you that one. Here we have a loader, right? Stand on the back, operate, and get a little bucket here. And obviously get other attachments for it as well.
Jake, good to meet you. Yep, enjoy the show.
And then right next to that, we have Brush Hog. Obviously, Brush Hog is most known for their brush mowers. So the big Batwing brush mower here, the 4120, a 20-foot heavy-duty flex wing mower. I'll show you the info card on this one. So I was messing with the focus. I was trying to get it back into autofocus after realizing that yesterday's video, some things weren't in focus. Brush Hog has lots of other mowers here at the show. Various sizes, smaller than the 4120. They've also got things like scrapers, tillers, and then we have kind of this bank mower, right? Attach this to your tractor and then extend out the boom to your mower deck. Not to be outdone, and kind of a part of the same booth, we have Rhino mowers. Side mower. Small trailed mowers. Either Brush Hog or Rhino, depending on what you want to go with. Let's check out the info card on this one. So this is advertised as a golf and turf mower. Anywhere between 13 to 24 foot cutting widths. And then kind of to conclude our grain handling section, at least for a little bit, till we get down to Meridian, and oh, what is it? Sioux, I think. We have Sukup. Of course, they're set up again with kind of a model bin. They have blowers, dryers, grain transport things set up here. They have an unload bin, possibly like ground level, a little model of maybe a ground dump, and then how they're using paddles to move that grain up. Again, we have one of the large kind of distributions. See how this is going to be moving the chute to the different holes that would then ultimately go to different bins. Then here we have a bit of a mock-up on the Sukup grain dryer tower. See how this tower would look possibly IRL, and then we've got a little bit of a cutaway here to see how the insides would work. And then we also have a bit of an animation going on. For their cross-flow grain dryers. On the left, we've got insert random brand name here. How their grain would flow. And then we have their controls. And then we have the Sukup version of how this would work. This banner shows a nice diagram where you have your various stages of drying. Hurricane ditcher. Ditches are absolute bitches, and that's why you need somebody like Hurricane to help you manage all your ditching needs. Various models, hurricane-ditcher.com. of the Hurricane booth is some Maddox equipment. This is more of highway construction type grade stuff. Still prime for digging and excavation. This is what we're seeing here. This gnarly head on it. Here we're at the Pit Express booth, and this is a really cool. We've seen the ones where you drive over, and then there's kind of the belt that you're driving on. Well, this one's got ramps, and you drive up and over on the ramps. And of course, you have your dump section, but it's just here in the center. And it all is controlled via hydraulics. As I was saying, everybody's into drones these days. We've got another drone over here at the sprayer specialties booth. It's got all types of things sprayer related. Small tanks, small sprayers that you would attach to side-by-side, four-wheeler, small trailers for kind of your spot spraying, on-demand spraying, spray mixing. Generators, spray nozzles, hose, and the like. And they have a virtual Sears catalog of products here. Martin-Till, a trusted name in no-till. Quite a snazzy name, quite a snazzy slogan, for sure. They're going to be specializing in modifications you would make to your seeding and planters to support more efficient no-till operations. Better suspension, better conforming to the ground, better ground pressure, cut down into the ground, better sealing over of the cut.
That is pretty cool.
And we're back to soy Sue, depending on how you want to call it.
Can we shut that off? Are you talking?
Depending on the size of your bin, we try to keep the price around $5,000. 2,200 bushels an hour. We've got 3 drive options. This particular one is a dedicated electric motor drive. We've also got a hydraulic that'll connect to the back of your tractor, and we have a direct drive that connects right into your reclaim auger.
So you can put weights on the back?
Yeah, it comes with a weight kit. It comes with a track kit. Track kit's just to spread the weight out. We don't know what aeration floor it's going to go in on. We've had a lot of instances where a bin was erected in the 60s and it's just an uneven floor. So yeah, we leave kernels behind, not inches of material.
And the paddles are proven safer than augers?
Yes, because you don't have to get in the bin. This will start up under a load. It can be completely covered up and it'll start up. The idea is not to get in the bin.
You're not worried about heat if the motor is completely covered?
Yeah.
That's fully sealed?
Yep. So it's basically a drag conveyor. Unlike an auger that's got grain around the whole thing of it, if it's piled up, a drag conveyor only has it under half. So that's why you can start it up under a load. Like little brooms, they follow the flow of the floor. So if you've got an uneven floor, it just brooms it right to the middle.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, you betcha.
Do you have a hedgerow that needs to go away? Well, this thing will do it. Guaranteed. Ultra thick steel. I just put my fingers up here as a representation of how thick this steel is. Huge blades, blade plate. And yeah, got a bunch of tall shrubs, little trees, set up to 10-inch trees, 10-inch diameter trees. That would be not 10-inch tall trees.
The bottom. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Take care, guys. Thank you. See you.
This is what we need. The ultimate in tree deletion.
Just suck the tray in there.
There you go. Just drop it on the tree and it's just gone. We'll use the old finger test once again on how thick the steel is and the teeth. The X mulcher. We should just call it Every Tree Runs in Fear. Fast sprayers. We have trailed sprayers here. And then we have attachable sprayers. Are you a land lover? Well, if so, we've got land lover here. We have a cedar. say this thing is built robust. This one's got airbag suspension. And then we can see this side is folded up. Gravely's here with several of their zero-turn mowers. This would be one of the ones where you stand behind it. So this is a remote control flail mower. So perfect for areas where you can't really get in to use a real mower.
Correct.
A traditional mower.
Yep.
Given its tracks, it's going to have lower pressure on the wheel, on the ground. Therefore, it's going to be able to get in places where a wheeled vehicle can't. And you've got lower overall pressures to get through wetlands and things and clear ways.
Yeah, the area side of the business is going to be residential. They're still heavily involved. It's not going to be a market leader in snow grows. And they have a residential greatly. Side, I would say heavier.
Matthews Company, where we have things for grain drying and grain distribution, grain management. Again, we're using paddles for our transport as opposed to augers or belts for this one.
That's why we have to go to photograph.
So what Agro EcoPower is doing here is they offer the ability to retune your tractors, combines, pretty much any power equipment to get you the power that you paid for, or more power than that you paid for, because we learned at the Racine plant when we did the preview event for Farm Sim that all of the tractors that come out of the racing plant have the exact same engine in them, and they're just tuned by software down to specific horsepowers. So this company is going to allow you to, outside the dealer, get some more power out of those engines. Here we have Meyer, and we're showing off a feed mixer attached to a Peterbilt. We also have several other feed mixers here of various sizes, as well as manure spreader. And even a classic side discharge forage wagon. Underrepresenting in the game, for sure. Something we'd like to see in the future. More of in the game. More quality mods of these in the game, if not direct from Giants products. So many of these are subpar in my opinion. When you start talking about mods. We'll see Thunder Creek isn't the only one here with service trailers. Hitchdock is here with their service trailer. Heavy duty drawers. We were checking this out last night before we left. The drawers rotate, lock, right? So your tools and your drawers don't go awry in transport. Moisture tester from Dickie John.
Yeah, storage temperature, you don't want to get below -4. Shut up.
Oh, and I'm getting video as I'm telling you.
Yeah, the shed that we have done this year. We're going to camper back from the so we got a tractor and see the first one. Nothing else. Right now, it's a tractor. That's all here. We have down to that one. I still can't hear you. That's the only thing we can do.
The Unitrim carousel planter for products like tobacco, tomato, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, melons, cabbage, and celery. It's got a fertilizer tank on it. Yeah, it looks a lot like the rice planter, right? From Farm Sim 25. We have trays here for our seedlings, saplings.
Dry box to herbicide. So we put herbicide down as we go through the field, so it keeps weeds. And so far, it's working basically everything. It does. The row, if you're doing heavier, I like to call it.
So Harvest Solar is going to be working with farmers to recruit some natural energy from unusable soils, areas that you can't really make use of in agriculture or could be dual use with agriculture. For example, you could have a cow pasture that really is no good for anything other than cow grazing, that you could also put solar panels on, raise them up, and get them out of the way of the cows. They can still graze, so you get the byproduct of the cows eating down the grass, keeping the solar panels free of tall grass and things like that. But at the same time, you can make use of the land in other ways.
A lot of variables around. A big one is physical space. We're a growing farm here. We don't want to take up productive land. We're trying to take up ground that's less used or unused.
Degelman is here, and we most often know about them in game for their rock pickers. But I believe we also have maybe some tillage equipment from them as well in game. And just looking at some of this machinery, we can see that this stuff is very heavily built, very heavily designed to cut deep down into the soil. I think this particular unit, we were looking at some of the marketing information yesterday on our way out of the show, and it's basically designed to cut 2 feet, 24 inches down into the ground. Here we have a grain mill. To mill your grain for your feeding operation. ProTill 20. And we also have grading blades from them. So if you want to do a big scale silage, right, we've got the Degelman blade here. This one pictured is attached to a big New Holland tractor. But let's kind of zoom out and kind of get the scale of this thing in real life, because I'm standing literally right on it.
Yeah, slightly.
So this bolts to the frame.
Yep, and it's got a quick attach. Hydraulic cylinder. You can keep the frame on and back away from the blade.
Parties here, and they brought several sprayers. Some of them we've known from being in game. We have the Aeon, AEON 7000 sprayer. Got the side showing here, showing some of the pump and mechanics. We have the Navigator, kind of one step down from the Aeon, and then the Ranger, step down from the Navigator. We don't necessarily get this level of detail or understanding. Oh, sorry. then the stand behind that we saw here, we can actually then add other attachments to it, like loader arms and a bucket, or a snow blower, or a mulcher.
Okay, all right.
And then we have Elmer's Hall Master, 1300. And we're just demonstrating the arms articulation.
Where do you want to go?
Get a real focus on this track system, how heavy duty it is, storage for shovel, we have a water line, water hose, water tank, and pump.
We're gonna be in trouble here. We're moving along. It's pretty loud
And I was just showing the adjustability of the output chute. We rotated forward and back, rotated up and down, and now it's going to close again. Built-in scale, so you know how much weight is in the Hall Master. Woods is here with an assortment of various products. Not only mowers, but we have some drills. We have snow blower. We have snow blade. Tiller, scrapers. And then of course, mowers of various type.
lined up. We only do so many. Make sure you're in line.
We are a few minutes away from our next installment of The Farmer Says. Anybody hanging around the booth, if you would like to play, answer a question, win a prize, you can get it wrong. See one of our associates, we can chip and play, and we'll play The Farmer Says in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Gator-made trailers. Why do we not have kind of more American style trailers in the game is beyond me. But it would be something I'd like to see come to the game, either base game, as free content add-ons. Hey, that's a great idea. Or as maybe high quality mods.
Got it in pretty hard.
What you get with it, not just a token, but you get some added features that you don't get with the regular. You get 2 jacks.
I did commit her thinking of the token.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So Toro is the booth, and you've probably seen them in the background of various shots throughout the show. They offered foam cowboy hats, said Toro on them. Sadly, came by yesterday to pick some up, and they'd given them all away. One person said they had a whole semi-load of them. Well, they managed to give away all of them before the end of the second day, which is a little sad. But anyway, we have the Grandstand Multi-Force. This thing is obviously going to be one that you stand behind to operate, but it has multiple attachments. We have a dump bucket, we've got a snow blower, we've got a plow, a debris blower, a broom, an aerator, a mower with vacuum bag, a leaf plow, and a dethatcher attachment. So one power machine to do many different jobs. Stand behind Dingo Digger. We also have a wide assortment of electric products. Like, for example, we have an electric snowblower right here. We have an electric zero-turn mower. And they take these Flex Force battery modules. Or if you don't have time to mow and you have a yard that's appropriate,
All right, as you come up, I'm going to ask you guys
the Toro Haven Smart Yard mower.
All right, buddy, what's your name and what
The Dion Scorpion 300. This one's set up as a trailed forage harvester. With silage additive tanks. You can change the header on this to a pickup style header. We'll take a look at the angle, side angle on that later. And then we also have the Dion blower to unload your product and blow it up into your silo. Why go with a Dion forage harvester? Well, here is kind of the meat and potatoes of how all this works. The knives that the product runs through to chop it up. And this is the other side of that pickup header. Right next door, we have Sudinga, and another grain handling company. Obviously, this is going to be the top of their grain leg, their grain tower. We have a dump grate here to dump your belly dump trailers on. You can see how that's been set up here. It's kind of a ramp setup. And then they also have a drive over grain hopper. We saw that at another vendor also. Cat is here with an assortment of various smaller machinery for farms. We've got a skid steer here, $255. And where there are kids and horn button, they will find each other. This year they haven't honked the horn near as much as last year. A little bigger, the 275. This is a big skid steer. And then we go from a big skid steer to a small wheel loader, the Cat 906. Got KBH here from Mississippi. We have a kind of grain cart or fertilizer cart.
How's it going?
Hey. Then we have a liquid transport. Tanks on the front and back. And in the middle, you could put IBC totes or other things. It's a big mixing pump here in the middle. It's quite the attraction. Everybody's wanting to check it out. We may have Schaefer in game, but we do not have the T9660. This is a very, very large telehandler or wheel loader or front loader. I mean, it depends on how you want to call it. Telescoping. We got a big old bucket up there. A big old grab on it. Then this is more of what along the line of what we have in game. 3650 SLT articulating loader. We have Brant here, and Brant's not only showing off their drop deck trailer, but on the drop deck trailer, they have a big auger wagon, and they're showing off on the trailer how these sides can extend out to support wider loads. We have a grain trailer here with a moving floor.
Tow hoods on the back? Sure.
Yeah, right here.
I can't get back yet. I went over there and I looked at that thing occasionally.
Yeah. That's what caught my eye.
Hurry. Y'all better hurry. Fix your attitude.
Then we have a Brant unloading belt here, drive over it, and then of course it will dump into a auger, similar to the auger that's right beside it, to then load up into a bin or something else. maybe to transfer the product from one trailer to another.
You know.
The brand's not all about grain, hauling, and moving. We also have a large disc here from them.
What? Are you leaving?
Brand has a nice small utility dump trailer here as well. Single cylinder lift.
Sorry, no, let it down.
Now, what originally brought me over to this booth was an Oxbow banner, but I failed to see any actual Oxbow equipment here. I see more just H&S equipment. So here we have a feed mixer. Here we have a big dump trailer, right? So this is going to take your grain, and instead of having an auger to offload it, it's going to raise up and flip over and dump. We've seen other trailers like that. This will have a smaller manure spreader. But again, where's the Oxbow stuff?
He's here.
Meridian is here to show they're not only about grain bins or storage bins for fertilizer and such. We also have a service trailer. Stylish service trailer at that. And of course we have here we have a fuel storage tank. Meridian and convey all belts and augers. This looks pretty similar to one we have in game. And of course there's smooth walled storage bins. Here we have a little sample unit, show sample. And a smaller service trailer. And then a convey all auger. We have a seed handling trailer here for your seed totes. And the Meridian Seed Express. Capello is here. A couple different versions of their header. Things open up so we can see inside. What makes these designs better than the rest? And then we have your underside of a header. See the moving bits underneath. Stalk stompers, skid plates, stalk cutter blades.
What you're gonna have to do is bring all the
So it's not necessarily less efficient than a ship facility. As far as, see, I kind of was thinking you would need to keep it like flowing through there all the time. Not necessarily.
you can.
So it shouldn't sit down and shut the fan and everything off. Really? I just thought maybe it would stop the voltage, you know.
Here we have Doyle from Quincy, Illinois. Now this is the size stuff that really hits me as being what we would use back 30 years ago. It's kind of interesting seeing this size stuff still today. But you know, not everybody needs the giant stuff. There's plenty of small farmers out there. A vast majority of those in agriculture, those farmers in America are small farmers. Not everyone has a huge, massive operation that could even make use of something like this large Doyle trailer. But they're going to be working on things much smaller, like these smaller sized fertilizer spreaders. And we have a diesel generator, or diesel powered belt. Also seems to be a impromptu bench for those who need to take a load off. Now I predict we'll see more Ferris, or more mowers in general, as we continue through the show over on the West Hall, or the West Wing. But here we have Ferris. This is a brand I've not really heard of or seen before. Here we have a stand behind, a stand-on blower, the FB 1000 Hurricane. We even have, well, this looks like a very robust, self-propelled walk behind. They're not push mowers, they're walk behinds. Let me move up the product stack. This is another stand behind. And then if we make our way across the aisle, well, we have Anderson. Anderson came to the game in DLC in FS19, still in the game back in FS22 or 25. And here we have the Merge Pro 915. This thing is massive. It's a huge, huge merger. In the game, we've got an Anderson merger, right? But did you think it was really the scale that this one is? We have seriously moved the material left, right. I don't think this one will split. We have the 3-point hitch Anderson RB 200 round bale wrapper. And then, favorite of mine, sausage maker, the IFX 720 X-Tractor. Now the X-Tractor will be able to wrap square and round bales. Now we're over here on the west side in one of the small side buildings, and a lot of the vendors over here, some more of the smaller vendors, more niche vendors, and it's important that they get some coverage and things. I think a lot of people that come to the show might not even know this area is over here, other than the fact that they have to walk past this in order to get to the pits if they want to see the tractor pull stuff that are set up and kind of a meet and greet style format. Now that's going to be its own separate video. We took a tour around the pits, taking a look at everything. We're on the tractor pull tonight and tomorrow night. That's Friday night and Saturday night. I don't know if we're going to be able to film too much of that or what the view is going to look like and everything, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. This is a model setup of a big grain complex. Multiple bins, grain leg, dryer.
Well, that's not the square plates, but the round plates.
That's also a different.
I think these are getting bigger each time we see a brush cutter.
sounds like we're over, just going on, man.
I can confirm this is definitely not an air conditioner. Every year, Semez has the smallest booth, and I just don't understand. But hey, you know, if it's fine for them, it's fine for me. And here they have Semez, and they've got one of their side mowers. So we have Karcher in game as a pressure washer, but they do other things. Including pressure washers. Floor cleaners. And the like.
Never cleaned them? Are they in good shape?
Moisture sensors. Mat tracks, track conversions for just about anything. Trucks, SUVs, side-by-sides, tractors, sprayers, mowers. Here we have a mock-up of a side-by-side for tracks. Or a kind of a Bobcat Ute with tracks. Call it kind of a Bobcat Ute because it's got this loader bucket on it. We have a pickup conversion kit. Let's see what he's doing here for the back end of the wheel wells and the front of the rear wheel wells, where clearance would be an issue. would be a conversion kit for like a sprayer. Then here we have a model kind of a tractor conversion, or a kind of a smaller tractor conversion, a hobby tractor. I was overhearing it's 40 miles an hour for top speed. I could have used these coming up here Tuesday.
We made it up here just before.
Remlinger. Here they've got several drills and drag harrows set up from them. It's a 10-foot drill. Ninja. Various types of drag harrows. Then we also have stone pickers from Remlinger. Alcoda hot and cold pressure washers. Small to large. Challenger lifts from hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. 2-post and 4-post service lifts. Not service racks, service lifts. ChallengerLifts.com. We have a 4-post with a tractor on it. You see how the wheels are on this particular lift. And we have a 2-post lift. And then more of maybe a traditional 4-post lift. Or storage lift for a vehicle. We have Fuel Pro, another fuel service trailer company. This would be for 4 seat totes. And then we have a 2-seat tote variety. Bissell's not just for cleaning your floors, it's also good for cleaning your shop, cleaning your feeding areas. Wingfield Harrows. AmericanHarrow.com. We have Con, nice patriotic Peterbilt here with a grain dump on the back. Norfolk, Nebraska. Easy flow feed bins of various sizes. Jet trailers. Sadly though, I think this trailer's been sold. Tire grabber. thus concludes day 3's coverage of the National Farm Machine Show. We've got one more day of coverage yet to come, so do keep an eye out on that. Hopefully I'll have that posted tomorrow morning sometime. Today was a super long day. I've also got footage from touring the pits, taking a close look at the pulling tractors for the tractor pulling event. I'm going to post a separate video on that probably when I get back in town, so look for that video sometime next week. Until next time, happy farming.